Thanks so much, Jenna. Well, a huge deal this morning in the pharmaceutical sector. The world's largest drug maker, Pfizer, is buying rival Wyeth for $68 billion. With more, I'm joined by Dr. Stephen Greer, founder and CEO of the Healthcare Channel, and Eric Gordon, a business professor at the University of Michigan. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Dr. Greer, let's start with you. What does this mean for the healthcare industry? Is this a sigh of relief? Is this a surprise? What do you make of this announcement?
Well, I think most of the markets think this will trigger a new wave of M&A. I'm not sure that's the case. This is a very unique case of a huge company, Pfizer. I don't know if there will be a lot more other deals taking place. So that's the reason there's a lot of support for it. Fundamentally, I think it's a terrible deal. I think it does not create shareholder value whatsoever for Pfizer or, well, Wyeth shareholders getting some creation, but for Pfizer. I've read the newspapers this morning. There's no discussion of the parameters you need to talk about for shareholder value, which is growth. Pfizer is a negative growth company. Bringing in a big, huge, almost as big, struggling Wyeth will not increase growth. Revenue won't grow much more. Earnings per share, free cash flow, none of that. So this is just combining two dogs to get a bigger dog. Okay,
it's interesting, Dr. Greer, because when you look at some of the things they've said, first of all, they say cost saves $4 billion by year 3. They said accretive by the second full year after closing. But as you point out, which is what some suggest, this is a move based purely on cost cutting, on redundancies, as opposed to new drugs, new issues, especially as it relates to their Lipitor and patent expiration.
This is terrible for the country at this time. You just saw the Caterpillar news. This is going to result probably in 10,000 more job losses, which is billions of dollars of lost income to the state of New Jersey, New York, where all the pharmaceutical companies are, not to mention the burden to the unemployment system. And it's destroying high-tech, quality, PhD research and development jobs. This is just terrible.
Eric, we spoke about this earlier this morning. I think you didn't feel quite as negatively about that. How do you feel about the deal?
I think it's a pretty good deal for both companies. Certainly there are cost-cutting things. The people who are going to lose their jobs are going to lose their jobs anyway because the pharma companies can't stay as big as they are. I think it's a good deal for Pfizer because it helps them get better established in the new kinds of research that are done in biotech. Wyeth is strong in biotech, strong in vaccines. That helps Pfizer going forward way beyond Lipitor. Lipitor is a big story, obviously, but there's life after Lipitor. This will, I think, strengthen Pfizer's research. On the Wyeth side, they will get access to Pfizer's marketing muscle, which is considerable. So I think there are things besides simply cutting jobs. The jobs, I think, were going one way or the other.
If I may add, that's a myth. Wyeth is not strong in biotech. They have one drug, Enbrel, which they're going to lose in a few years, and is a mature drug with Humira and other drugs competing to make it obsolete. They have a vaccine, Prevnar. That's it. Wyeth is not a biotech company.
So why choose Wyeth? I mean, there were other biotech opportunities out there, but some suggest that biotech is a big risk because you know how long it takes to take a drug to trial.
Because it's the only thing the CEO, Jeff Kendler, as an attorney who knows how to cut costs, that's the only thing he knows how to do, is to take in big companies and cut costs. That's all he's done since he's been at Pfizer. That's all he knows.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Eric, if you're a Wyeth shareholder, you wake up this morning, you get 0.985 shares of Pfizer, you get $33 in cash. Not a bad deal for a Wyeth shareholder.
No, it's about, I think, 28-29% bump over the time that the news started to leak out about this. I think I'm more optimistic about it. Biotech is very risky, but it is the future of the industry. It's where the new discoveries will come from, and Pfizer has to get into it. And has to get into it in a bigger way. I think there's another reason to pick Wyeth, which is there's a strong overlap of the diseases they cover, and Pfizer is trying to focus on fewer diseases. Wyeth does research in many of the same areas, so I think there is a logic to Wyeth.
All right, guys, we're going to have to leave it there. My apologies, but Dr. Stephen Greer and Eric Gordon, thank you so much, gentlemen. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come